why?
Let me speak on behalf of we, the people of the world, because we, the people of the world, whatever the...
You just speak the whole world, do you?
God's sake.
Well, come on, Roger. We have a civilised conversation.
No, you can't have a civilised conversation with somebody who constantly interrupts.
Okay. Nor can you speak unfettered without me correcting some of the things you're saying or challenging you. You accept that?
I was about to say something,
Okay.
and you're doing it again.
My apologies.
Accept your apology.
Thank you.
Please, don't do it again, Piers. I'm not a capitalist.
How much are you worth?
That's none of your business.
You admit you're a very wealthy guy.
I'm not going to talk about my personal wealth. It's none of your business, and it doesn't matter. What does matter is that I have stood up for human rights all my life.
Roger Waters, singer and a songwriter of many songs of Pink Floyd back when it was cool.
They have a song called Have a Cigar, and it's about sort of scumbag producers and stuff like that taking advantage of musicians and so on. But you just wonder, like, is this just a guy who had some bad run-ins with Jews at some point in the music industry, and now he's like, Israel has to be wiped out or something? I don't know.
I saw that just earlier, that apparently he had a big change in his stance on Israel and Jews after a concert in the early 2000s or so.
Roger Waters wrote another brick in the wall for his legendary band Pink Floyd. Now he played it in front of thousands of Israeli rock fans. The new message about the wall Israel is building to fence off the Palestinians. For rock veteran Roger Waters, the wall has become a cause.
What fills me with horror, the thought of being, constrained by something like this is horrific. It literally is like living in a giant prison.
You believe it should simply be taken down?
I don't think. Well, yeah, I don't think there's any question.
I may be speaking out of turn, but I believe that we, the rest of the world, need this generation of Israelis to tear down the walls.
The thousands of young Israelis seem to love the music, but not all of them liked the message.
I think if the wall will be taken down, people in Israel will die.
We know there should be peace. I want peace too, and I'm willing to make a sacrifice for it. But I think they're coming here with such a shallow message. I think it's doing wrong for both people, Israelis and Palestine.
He defends Hamas. He denies any rapes. He even denies very well publicly known issues like Hamas holding a baby hostage and not releasing the baby and so on, and starts to doing like very bizarre things.
All the filthy, disgusting lies that the Israelis told after October, and women being raped, which were all completely...
Actually, women were raped.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
Well, there's no evidence.
It's been established by the United Nations.
You can say anything that you want, but there's no evidence.
Actually, there is extensive evidence.
There is no evidence.
Well, there is.
Okay, well, all right, now.
Also, we know what Hamas broadcast on social media.
Calm down. Roger, calm down. Don't sink to this level. All right, I won't.
What level?
Well, stop shouting. Stop shouting, man. Let him interrupt you as much as you... Okay. All right. Sorry, Piers, what were you saying?
There is a lot of evidence. There is plenty of evidence. It is not even a question anymore. And we've gone through this so many times.
Calm down.
So many times. We have a lot of statements, first off, from victims themselves. We have statements from witnesses. We have medical expert statements. The United Nations, in 2 cases, put together a team of experts, of independent experts that go there without a common cause, without a common bias, go there and investigate, and they conclude that they are sure that multiple cases of rape and otherwise sexual assault and abuse took place at the hands of Hamas and Palestinian groups and even Palestinian civilians. So there is that, and they have multiple cases of where Palestinian terrorist groups or civilians came inside Israel and there mistreated women and men, by the way, and children possibly sexually, and also continued doing that when they brought these Israelis as hostages back to Gaza, where they continued the sexual abuse. These things were all established by all kinds of different people, including an expert team put together by the United Nations that had to report on all their findings. The report is out there. It is dozens of pages long. I went through it here months ago when it first came out. So recently received an update, I think it was on June 10th or June 12th, where the UN put together everything, and they made it very clear that Hamas and other Palestinian groups have on multiple occasions sexually assaulted or sexually abused Israelis, and specifically Israeli women, it said. So all of this is established, but this guy sits here and is like, there is no evidence. It's been debunked. Man. There's no evidence, he says. There's no evidence, he says. We know there's evidence. We have to listen to you.
Yeah, by the way, that's a really, really creepy thing to say. That seems a bit anti-Semitic to me if you're saying this one group of people can't possibly even tell you what happened, or it's completely worthless.
Here we have a response from Orly Peter, neuropsychologist, trauma specialist. Roger Waters was just on Piers Morgan denying the rapes of Israeli women by Hamas and the kidnapping of the baby Kfir Bibas. My colleagues and I at Israel Healing Initiative were in Israel treating the trauma of the survivors of the atrocities that Roger Waters denies. As the video shows, the aunt of Kfir Bibas, a head occupational therapist at the Negev hospital where we were working, took leave due to her unbearable grief knowing her brother, sister-in-law, and her 2 nephews were kidnapped by Hamas.
Are there still hostages there right now that are part of your community?
Yes, one of our head occupational therapists, she actually moved up to the Golan Heights in this past summer, right before October 7th, and her brother is the Bibas family, which is the red-headed baby that was all over the news, and Hamas claimed that Israel and then fires the caused their death and all that. But clearly we know that's not true, and these Hamas terrorists are playing psychological war games.
הייתה אישה צעירה עם שיער בצבע נחושת, שדם זורם במורד גבה ומכנסיה מופשלים עד הברכיים. גבר אחד משך אותה בשיער ואילץ אותה להתכופף. אחר כך חדר אליה, ובכל פעם שנרתעה ממנו דקר אותה בסכין בגבה. אחר כך צפתה באישה אחרת נקצצת לחתיכות, בשעה שמחבל אנס אותה. בערך באותו זמן ראתה 3 נשים נאנסות, ומחבלים שהחזיקו ראשים כרותים של 3 נשים נוספות. במקום אחר לאורך כביש 232 הסתתר רז. גם הוא השתתף בפסטיבל. הוא ראה 5 גברים לבושים באזרחי, כולם נושאים סכינים, ואחד מהם פטיש. גוררים על פני האדמה אישה. היא הייתה צעירה ועירומה וצרחה. כולם מתאספים סביבה, הוא אמר. היא קמה, הם מתחילים לאנוס אותה.
Imagine you're listening to this and then Roger Waters comes in and is like, no, there's no evidence at all.
Zero evidence.
No, there's no
None.
evidence at all. I can't
Whatever
trust him.
Yeah, whatever this woman says, she's a filthy Jew, so you can't trust it. And
Oh, you
therefore
don't believe
no
Jews?
evidence. It's not that it's not enough evidence, it's that it's absolutely none because of who she is.
Yeah. And we will see more.
את הגברים עומדים בחצי מעגל סביבה. אחד חודר אליה. היא צורחת. אני עדיין זוכרת את הקול שלה. ואז אחד מהם מרים סכין, והם פשוט שוחטים אותה.
حوالي في أول الثلاثينات. أبوك أولا. ثم أنا ثم
This guy said, then I, Ahmed, we raped her too. Then we left, but I left before my father and Hassan, Ahmed and I left. So he went there with his father and and this other guy, and they raped together. This is, of course, confession after being captured by Israeli security forces. Of course, the other side can always say, oh no, of course, this is all under duress. These are, they were forced to say these things. Interesting, because they weren't really using those same standards when Hamas published videos in which terrible-looking hostages were making statements like, we are being treated well.
And that's the point. If you wanted to say, hey, there's a possibility that this is coerced or something like that, you could say that. But to just say it's no evidence at all, nothing, not the confessions of these guys, not the witnesses, none of that is any kind of evidence at all. You kind of have to really just hate Jews to take that position, right? That no amount of evidence could ever convince you.
بعدين احنا طلعنا. أنا طلعت قبل أبوي وحسن. طلعنا أحمد. بعد ما طلعنا شو؟ طلعنا. طلعنا من البيت. وين هي عايشة؟ لا هو قتلها. بعد ما هو قال بعد ما طلعنا احنا قال قتلنا.
Yeah, after we raped her, my father killed her, and then we left. Yeah.
طبعا طلعت لقيت مستوطن
I would like to think that nobody would harm a young girl.
حطيت رميت عليه على الكنف واخذت حديد على يمسها.
מצרים ותחתונים היו למטה, ירו בה במפסעה.
מעל 30 בנות נרצחו ונאנסו, כי צריך לסגור את הרגליים שלהם, לכסות את הגופות שלהם. שאף אחד לא יראה מה שאני ראיתי.
I am prepared to admit that I am in tears over Gaza every morning when
Are you freaking kidding me? Are you really tearing up now?
Uh-huh. And are you in tears over October 7th? Nothing happened on October 7th, liar.
only 80 years old. I have never experienced the genocide of a whole people in front of my eyes happening.
Dude, genocide of a whole people? Genocide of a whole people? What AP, has the whole people been genocided? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? I haven't been, to be fair, I haven't been following the news for a few days. Did Israel go and completely wipe out
Yes.
the entire population? Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know that. See, I was only familiar with them going in and hunting down terrorists who were hiding behind civilians and so on.
Israel has been indiscriminately genociding the Palestinians, which is why, of course, considering that the war has been going on for, let's see, how many months would that be? 9 months. If they are indiscriminately destroying this whole population here, they probably took out significant parts of the population. Oh, wait a minute. Total number of deaths reported by the Gaza Health Ministry to be currently at 37,953. Huh. That didn't even change much over the last 3-4 months or so. This is a terrible genocide, man. What is this?
Yeah, this is one of those weird issues where you have
Jews suck at this whole thing, man. Genocide. What is this, man?
Yeah, they're the worst. We can only be thankful that they're completely incompetent at genocide, but we know they're trying. This is the issue. See, Roger is speaking, and the only people who are going to find that convincing are stupid people who are already on his side. Everyone else is going, what genocide? What are you talking about? Israel hunting for the hostages that these guys still have and hunting down the terrorists who went on a killing spree? That's what you mean by genocide?
Yeah. Okay, so he's 80 years old. He has never experienced the genocide of a whole people happening in front of our eyes. We have actual genocides that happened over the last decades. We have had actual genocides that happened in his lifetime. Several of them. Is he talking about those? Or is he just saying right now that he doesn't know that those happened? Or did he ignore those genocides? Did he ignore those? For example, one is happening right now. One is happening right now. As we speak, it is still ongoing. It is happening in Sudan. Why is nobody caring about that? Apparently, yeah, okay, that's in Africa. That's in Africa. There's just a bunch of blacks killing each other. We don't care about that. We only care about when Jews killed George Floyd, who was one of the blacks.
Yeah, AK, which part of no Jews, no news didn't you understand? Grow up. Stop embarrassing us.
We have a genocide against the Yazidis. We had that going on. We have the Darfur, which is the Sudan genocide. It has been ongoing since 2003. Rwanda was very recent. That happened. How old is he? He's 80 years old. 80 years old. He should know about that. No, he doesn't care. I don't know. This is just so dumb, so ridiculous.
Read my lips. No Jews, no news. Gosh, simple, AP. Like this is rocket science or something.